Welcome to We Connect, and thank you very much for joining us on this show. Dr. Pillai is my guest today. He's an international thinker who propagates very new ways of thinking, and he's been able to very successfully use the new technologies in his studies of the Vedic Sciences. He's here in Chennai on a short visit, and he's decided to join us and give us of his valuable time. So thank you very much for joining us, first of all. Now, you have been involved with the Vedic Sciences for a long time. How successfully have you been able to use technology? Because that's what you say that you do.
Well, the Vedic technology, I prefer to call it, is high-tech, because it supersedes all the technologies that we know of now. The fundamental premise is, according to the Vedas, everything starts with vibrations. Om is the primordial vibration. That's exactly what the quantum physics now says, that it's not just the particle that's the reality. It is just the vibration of strings or bands that create reality. So the Vedic science goes one step beyond that and says that it is the vibration that produces not only the matter but also consciousness and energy. So if you can go into the study of these vibrations, of what they are, then you can change your mind. Then you can change matter as well. So it's basically a science that can change our mind, enhance our intelligence, and also can give us a better understanding of our material reality. So to put it precisely, the science is about mind over matter.
Right.
So if you can master your mind, this is what the yogis were trying to see. Don't just go and work with matter because it's very difficult. That's the material science model. But the Vedic scientific model is that you can completely master your consciousness, and by mastering your consciousness, you can control matter.
Right. But sir, this is 2011, and as we sit here and speak, do you think all of these very ancient sciences are actually applicable in our daily lives, in our everyday lives today?
Oh, definitely, definitely. For instance, everything boils down to how good we are in understanding things. Basically, it's our intelligence that matters. So why the West is really having an upper hand? It's because they have better intelligence, they have better science, they have better technology. That's why within a short period of 200 years or even less than that, they are in a better place than our ancient civilizations. But then that's because our lack of understanding to incorporate our own science, our own Vedic science, in our own life. Because the rishis were very, very clear.
Right. Do you believe it is essential to actually incorporate then, as you say yourself, technology for us to be able to better understand our own ancient sciences, which are totally valuable and completely wonderful?
Yeah. See, we use, even the modern scientists agree, that we use only 5% of our mental potential. We do not know a way how we can use the 95% unused part of it.
Right.
Now we have research to show that as soon as a person begins to use these sounds called mantras, then he is able to produce alpha spindles, beta spindles, and then bring into focus a lot of the brain that otherwise cannot be used. So that has a direct impact on comprehension and also even changing IQ. Okay, there was a time that the United States, the state of New Jersey, funded the use of TM in public schools. Okay, it's based on research. But then we have not applied it here in India for our own benefit. That's what I have been doing. So we have conducted a research at the SRM Medical College with the medical students, and within 10-20 minutes of meditation, they were able to bring their stress level dramatically, and the proof is in the biochemistry. And the hormones have been tested with the control group, and there are remarkable changes within 15-20 minutes of meditation.
Right. Now you yourself go around the world, talking and speaking about the very issues we are talking about here today. Do you think that here in India we are still somewhat reticent about grasping some of the things you're talking about?
Definitely, definitely. There are more people who take it seriously in the West, because I don't teach it in India. I teach mostly in the United States, Canada, and Europe. There is more receptivity there than here, because in the West, if it is proved scientifically, then they accept it. And also they have a better marketing technology also, which is something which is very interesting. I put out a lot of sounds and then said, this sound will bring you money, this sound will bring you health, this sound will give you a good relationship. And then a company called Nightingale Conant came to me and then said, we want to market you, but then we will do it in another way, in our own way, which is money back guarantee. Use these mantras, okay? And for 90 days, if you don't get any results, return these videos, and then we will fully refund your money.
Right. So then, it's, as you say, it's all about marketing. So why are we not doing it here then? Why are you yourself probably not doing it that way, in that method?
Well,
or doesn't it work here?
We have to see if it will work here, because there is a different culture there, and then the ethics are different there, because they are given a task, 90 days you have to try this. Only if it doesn't work, then we are going to pay the money back. And the return has been very, like 15-20%, or maybe even less. No. But if this will work here, I really don't know. Okay.
Have you tried it?
I haven't tried it.
Why not?
I would, because I have been living for the past 28 years in the U.S. That's where my clientele is. But now I have been visiting India, maybe I would do it and then see if it works.
Right. We're going to ask you to hold on for a very short break. We'll get right back here with you on WeConnect, so you please don't go anywhere. Welcome back to WeConnect, continuing that discussion that I'm having here with Dr. Bhaskaran Pillai. Dr. Pillai, you have over the past few years been concentrating much of your time back here in India. Is this a conscious decision? Why are you doing this?
Well, I want to do something to India, okay, because I have been using this knowledge that I have gained in India, yes, and for the benefit of the Westerners. I just want to do something to India. That's why I just have come here, and I want to fund a lot of research through my foundation.
Right. What would be the specific areas that you would look at in your research program?
How these sounds can enhance different parts, the functioning of the different parts of the brain. How
Explain that to me, doctor, please.
See, you know, right now, the right and left cerebrum and the cerebellum, the lower cerebellum, are active, but they give only limited thinking. Okay, we cannot have outrageous thinking. It disallows outrageous thinking. So there are parts of the brain that can be brought into, you know, activity or more functional. So that can give us an unlimited thinking. So there is, we are experiencing a cap in our thinking process. So we want to delimit the thinking process by, through the meditation practices of certain sounds are capable of activating these brain centers so that we can have access to a greater intelligence.
Right. You keep talking about sounds, doctor.
Yeah.
Now, I need to draw you out.
Yeah.
What's the proof at the end of it? How would you actually say, okay, this has worked, this hasn't worked, I think you've done a good thing here?
Well, there has been a lot of research, about 600 researches done on the use of sounds, and then they have, there are researchers with control groups,
right,
those who use these sounds and those who don't use the sounds.
What about in India?
In India, we have done only one research at the SRM Medical Schools.
Yes, you mentioned it, yes.
Then I'm going to go and fund different other schools, medical schools, and also other educational institutions, right, to pursue research like that.
Right. Are they receptive? Is it only a question of money when you go in with an eye, with the kind of things we're talking about here today? Are principals, managements of these institutions actually willing to accept what you're suggesting?
They are more open now.
Are they?
Because I came here 2 years ago and there was a lot of resistance to this kind of research. But now they are open now, because now in the West there are a lot of research that are proving the Vedic model, that it is the mind that matters, because it's the mind that decides the character of particles. So fundamentally what matters is the mind. Because if the mind thinks this is how the particle behaves that way. And if you bring another hypothesis, the particle behaves in a different way.
Right.
So they are thinking now. So the matter has nothing to do at the very fundamental elementary level except your own hypothesis, which is your mind. So through your mind you can change everything. So it boils down to your own thinking process. So if you can have a poverty thinking or a prosperity thinking, and one becomes responsible for that.
Right. I'd like to touch now on astrology per se as it exists. Now you are successfully combining this with technology. It's not something that we've seen a lot of, have we?
Well, so let me talk about astrology as it is perceived in the West and in India.
Yes.
In India, the Supreme Court approved it as a science. The University Grants Commission gives grants.
That's right.
And so that there are universities who teach astrology now. But in the West, it is still a pseudoscience. That's why I have started this company, Astrovid.com, in India, because it is legal in India and it is respected in India. And now what I am doing now here is, I have started a research wing, put a professor in charge, and she has hired some PhDs. What we are trying to prove is the relationship between planets and academic performance. So we have collected about so far 15,000 cases where we are in the process of analyzing. If a student is not performing in math, what is the reason? What planet causes that defect? And the hypothesis that I have is his fourth house is weak, which is the education house, or the Mercury is weak. If we can enhance the Mercury vibrations within the consciousness of this particular individual, then we can bring up his grade. So first thing, we are going to analyze the data and then see if there is a correlation between academic performance and the planets in the natal chart.
Right.
So I am convinced, theoretically, and also on the basis of my own research, that there is a connection, which I want to prove with a large amount of data, because I want to go up to 1 lakh data and analyze the data.
Right.
Okay.
I'm drawing you back to the question about astrology. My own association with it is rather limited to opening a newspaper, and around the world people do this all the time to see what the day is going to bring, or what the week's going to bring, or the year is going to bring.
Yeah.
Now, does this make sense to somebody like you? I mean, when I open that paper, should I believe? Should I not believe? Is it something, a figment of somebody's imaginations or a writer's, what is it, doctor? Tell me.
Well, what you see in the newspaper is only a general prediction. Okay, there is a 30 degree in one zodiac sign, and then within the 30 degrees there will a number of people will be born. So they can only give a general prediction. So you want a very accurate prediction, then you may want to go to something like Nadi astrology, the palm leaf astrology, which is really one of the wonders of the world. Okay, we also want to do research. I am taking some Nadi astrology to the United States to present to a scientific community. I have been invited to give a talk to a number of scientists. So I am taking them down there to demonstrate how the Nadi astrologer can find out your name, your father's name, mother's name, and what you are doing, and what is your problem, what are the diseases you have in the body. All these things are written up there. Just by looking at the thumb impression, we can get this information. So this proves that this is a Vedic science too, that there is omniscience. Okay, and this omniscient faculty that the rishis once had could know what is happening, what is going to happen in the future, and then they put it all in leaves which were thousands of years old.
Right. So you say it's okay in 2011
Yeah.
to actually be looking at what the stars foretell for
Oh
you.
yeah, yeah. It's a science.
Right.
It's literally a science.
Right.
Yeah.
Because some of us can sometimes be rather skeptical about what we actually read and lay not terribly much stress on it.
Well, I wouldn't go by what you read in the newspapers because they are very general predictions. For example, there is a Maga star. Even if you read by stars, okay, you can go wrong, because people who are born in Maga star can become like rulers, Bharani star rulers. But even Bharani and Maga also can produce beggars too. There are
Right.
people who are beggars who are born in the star.
Right. Hold on, please, Dr. Pillai, because we'll get right back with you here on We Connect, and there's lots more interesting stuff coming up. So just stay right there with us. Welcome back to our program. You've joined us once again as I'm talking here with Dr. Bhaskaran Pillai. Doctor, you've started this web page, www.astroved.com. Now, tell us about it. What's it all about? What kind of response do you get to
So
it?
we call it as the Vedic technology to address your common problems. So if you have a problem like not getting married, because that's a very common problem in India, because people are worried and
Yes.
that they are not able to get suitable brides or bridegrooms. You know, we can take a look at that horoscope and can pinpoint what is wrong.
What
And
kind of response? I'm sorry, but what kind of responses?
we have
do you have a lot of
we
hits?
have tremendous response there, because since I have been living in the US for the past 25 years or so, my clients are mostly coming from the West. But now we are partners with CFI, so there is an Indian presence now, and so that's one of the reasons why I want to stay in India and then make this available to our own people.
Right. Now, you have also talked about the use of Vedic sciences in terms of economics and sports and other areas, really.
Yeah.
Whereas people like ourselves only think about it from our own selfish in the
Yeah,
way
we have,
point
for
of view.
instance, cricket astrology. In,
Yes.
you know.
Interesting, considering cricket's such a big thing. Yeah.
I think
How
we
does it
did.
work?
I think the response was phenomenal when we did
Really?
the cricket astrology, and then apparently, and I was not personally involved, but Jyoti would know more. But they said our predictions came true, that India won, and then we were able to draw a lot of traffic to our site because we were including what people are interested in.
Right. Let me talk here about cricket because it's such a passion in India. Now, do you think it actually works that I read something that says, yes, this team is going to win, and that team actually sort of works towards that, convinced that they're going to win? So do you believe that that really plays a role?
Well, everything, although it looks like that we are creating, is only an illusion. Okay? And everything took place before we even came here. So that is the premise. That is how we are able to, from the Nadi's perspective, from the Nadi leaves, say that you will be even born like 30 years from now in Japan and will have this name. So you are not even, you are still alive. You are going to be dead, and after that you will be born, and that will be this will be the name you will carry.
Right.
So they were able to see everything, okay, from where they are.
Right.
Okay.
But Dr. Bhaskaran, tell me something.
Yeah.
If I or if a person sort of reads something about what's going to possibly happen to them, can I become overconfident and complacent about the fact that, yes, that's going to happen to me, fine, big deal, no problem, it'll happen?
But then you will be forced to act. It's not that you are making a conscious choice to act. The reason why you are doing what you are doing, the reason why I am doing what I am doing, is not, although it may look to be a choice that we are doing, We are, like in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that you cannot even be silent for 1 minute, because it is the nature for everyone to act. You cannot remain without action. Even people who are without jobs still act. Okay, they just go and do something, you know.
So you're saying it's predetermined then?
It is not predetermined in the sense that you don't have a free will. You do have a free will. But then the free will's operation is minimum unless you take action. That's where the meditation part comes. So, for instance, in your horoscope it says there will be no money in your horoscope. In astrology it never says you have to accept that. There are remedies. They suggest remedies. Okay, this is you are not getting married because of bad Mars, but there are remedies to fix Mars. This is what I want to present it in a scientific way by looking at the vibration of Mars, because there is a color scheme, you know, that impact us. So astrology will be studied in terms of wavelengths and frequency of sounds for each planet. So we can give that frequencies, then you can build up that thing that you are lacking in your own psyche, and then come up to a level.
Right. Now you speak internationally around the world,
Yeah.
in different places. Do you find that there is a growing and an abiding interest in what you're saying to people?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Really?
Yeah.
Lots of questions come
Yeah,
up?
2012 is going to be the year when the Mayan calendar says that the world is going to end. There will be a lot of disaster, but the world will not end per se. But what's going to happen is there will be a new consciousness. There will be a new understanding. Our modern science will be obsolete. Our technology will be obsolete. The current research is really going towards something what our yogis have been saying, that it is the mind that matters. You can control everything through your own mind.
Right.
Even the planets can be controlled through your mind.
Right.
But if you don't control the planets, then you will run that course of the destiny.
Right. Now in India, Doctor,
Yeah.
going to draw you back again, do you find that the younger generation wants to listen to all of this that you're saying, or do they?
They will.
Do they,
If
but?
they will if I provide scientific data.
Okay.
For instance, this research that I'm doing, there is a correlation between academic performance and the planets. It's done by third-party people who are PhD and professors, and then they will present the data, and then once the data is there, then you have to accept that there is a relationship.
Right. You have been talking a lot about new thought processes.
Yeah.
I want to draw you out on that. Explain it to me.
Well, a particular individual's life is based on the kind of thoughts he produces. If you produce a thought like, I want to be a cop or a cab driver, then you will be a cop or a cab driver. Then you are responsible for producing these thoughts. Where the thought comes from, we do not know. But then it does come, and then you actualize these thoughts. And also we plant the idea that you could become the chief minister. Okay? You could become a doctor. You could become an engineer. Okay? We don't plant, very mediocre ideas.
Right.
And that is very important.
So you're basically, what you're saying is that you plant into the child's mind that
Yeah.
they have so much in them that they can
Yeah.
reach for the stars.
Right.
Well, Dr. Bhaskran Pillai, I'd like to thank you because we've totally run out of time, but it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much, sir. And
you.
perhaps the next time you're here, we'll look at having a chat with you again. Well, that's all we have time for here on We Connect. But please don't forget to watch us Friday nights at 9:30. And until the next week, you take care. And don't forget to keep tuning into NDTV Hindu. It's been our pleasure to have you with us. Till next week. Bye for now.